Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So I have a Wand of the Adept, just making it after throwing a bunch of Precantatio, basically taking sorcery, and just pulling it out, and I think I'm gonna keep this Wand of the Apprentice in here and use this Wand of the Adept for most of my spell casting from here on out. So let's grab a bit of that, and this sugarcane is pretty much ready for harvesting. Seeing as I cannot actually see above it, I think it's pretty much set. So let's grab this and look. So now I did learn a few things. One of them is the fact that if you throw gold ore into the soul forge instead of iron ore, you actually get ingots instead of nuggets. So I wasted quite a bit of iron using that. So we have 8 corrupted ingots, and that's good. But another thing is the fact that, well, to get the soul shard, you have to throw a diamond into the soul forge, and that's going to take a while because it has to consume 8 corrupted essences for it to turn into a soul shard. So we're going to have to wait a while for that to happen. So we also have a bunch of ores with which we can actually do some fun stuff with, and 23 levels, so we can probably do a bit more enchanting later on. So what I think I'm going to do is just macerate my diamond and my gold so that we can get that all processed. We got a bunch of blaze powder already. And we'll take this blaze powder. I think I'll bring back to my magic world once all this is done. We'll just throw the diamond ore in. We'll just process this up a bit. We got all the gold I think we'll need. All the gold that we need. Okay, diamond dust. And now I am stumped. Do we have to compress this to turn it into a diamond? I'm thinking that might be the case, because I'd rather have diamonds than this. So we can use an implosion compressor, or obviously mass fabricator we don't have, rolling machine, and I'm going to try this in the compressor, okay? Nope. Okay, so we have diamond dust, which currently is a little useless for me. So I guess we won't be able to just grab a bunch of stuff for our working. So let's just grab our, you know what I mean. We won't be able to do as much alchemy as I hoped. So I think I'm going to turn this, no point turning that off really. We'll just hope that this is enough EU to get in and start everything. If not, we're going to have to do some other drastic measures, which I think we'll be able to do eventually. We'll place all of this blaze powder back into our world since we have a diamond and our blaze powder. So let's go back into our H13. Do a bit of working on our magic since we still have a bunch of stuff here. So blaze powder, let's throw this in because it has something to do with blazes and probably has something to do with magic. Not really throwing anything quickly. So I'm gonna work a bit on getting this infernal furnace. Hopefully we'll be able to process diamond ores into something a little better by using that. If not, we'll just find some other way to get all the diamonds that we need. Okay, here we have a soul shard, or actually 3 soul shards. I think I'm going to put the other 2 away. Let's look at the soul shards just in case, and it seems like we're good in this regard. That looks interesting. Too bad I don't know how that works. Oh well. So I think it's best to go to Nether because we're going to need to go and get some more soul sand because there's a particular aspect which I believe requires soul sand. So we're at like 60% memory, so we might have to restart because of a few bugs in Mistcraft maybe not freeing the memory But we'll do that and attack some blazes to get their souls. Did I say that out loud? So to be able to actually steal a soul, or actually have the soul shard steal the souls, you have to first kill the monster that you're planning to absorb. So I can't kill anything until I get one of the blazes, and it has to be in your hotbar to be able to absorb anything. So let's put it in our hotbar. Hope we don't have to kill any wither skeletons or ghasts while we're doing this, but it doesn't look like that's going to be much of a possibility. Run, 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 run. Okay, here we go. One blaze coming up. Dodge. And here we go. And we got some wrapping paper, which I don't think we were looking for anyways. So, now we have one soul in here. Now it actually works in powers of 2. So for instance, right now it's a tier 0 soul shard. We can't put it in a soul cage until we get to at least tier 1. But for blazes and nether creatures like them, it has to be tier 4 or 3, one of the two, before we can do that. So I'm going to go try to get tier 5. The best way to do so is to right click a spawner. So since we have a lot of spawners around here, I think I'm going to do that. And hopefully don't die from wither skeletons. Ooh, I love this sword. Okay, so let's show you how that's done after killing these. Haha, take my wither skeleton. Okay, first this skeleton has to disappear, and we can actually steal the souls from a spawner. So hopefully we can get that blaze wither guy to... Nope, not gonna happen. Okay, there we go. Let's right click it, and we broke the cage and stole the souls, and now we have 201, and it's a tier 2. Oh, thought that was gas. That is, though. So I can just go around finding the blaze spawners that are in this area. There will be a lot, seeing as, well, blazes. They hate me. So I'll do that. Find a bit of soul sand, because it's going... Oh, fire bat, fire bat, fire bat, fire bat. I hate you, fire bat. Why do you insist on being annoying? I hate blazes. So let's put this soul shard into here. Since we're not going to use it right away, we only managed to get 2 spawners, so it won't be exactly the most useful. But we do have quite a bit of soul sand. Hopefully this is enough. 15 should be enough to get this animus. So there we go. We got our infernal furnace. Let's check it. And let's look. Ooh, this is a bit big. Okay, it's a mystical construct, and it requires a bunch of nether brick, some obsidian, lava, and iron bars, and we should be able to... Let's see. I'm gonna read this and then tell you what it says, though you can read it for yourself. Okay, so I read it, if we look back over here, and it pretty much says that it basically smelts everything, and there's a possibility that you'll get some extra from the crafting. Now, I'm not sure what that has with diamond ores. It's probably not exactly the best way to... I don't know if it can even process diamonds in the same way. So let's just look at the recipe for diamonds, see if there's any easier way to receive the diamonds. We could just smelt it using that, but that's sucky. Doesn't seem like there's anything, though we can get tiny piles of diamond dust through the industrial grinder, which is probably something that we're going to need to do instead. But we can get dark ashes, and that's pretty much the only way to convert the diamond dust into diamonds. So that means we're not exactly going to get the best yield, or the, to use another term, the best bang for our buck using just putting all of it. You know what I mean. I'm trying to explain it, and I am failing miserably, which is always a fun thing when doing a Let's Play. Okay, so since we have a bunch of diamond dust and we don't really have a use for it, we should probably find a use for it eventually. So, and also that nice little furnace, I was talking about the furnace anyways, it uses V's, but it also causes a bit of flux when you make it. Not when you make it, but when the stuff is used. So, I think I'll make it anyways, but it requires 12 obsidian. I might make something that will be able to generate the obsidian anyways. And hang on a bit, I think the system I have over here is stalled because we are making... Yes, okay, tungsten, copper, electrum, and tin is being made from the industrial centrifuge instead of the other thing that it was set up for. So currently this system is, well, to put it lightly, faulty, so we should probably have some other way to do this. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is break this liquid transposer and put some liquid pipes instead, so it'll just go all over there. We won't need to have these buffers. Yes, let's take the buffers out of here, and we'll probably just not have this set anything. So take off the filter. We'll keep the filter on. We won't even need this, so we'll probably turn this off. Let's see. We don't have any other regular rails, do we? Though we can just remove this and we should be good. Anyways, just place. And actually, I'll change this in the meantime and then come back to you when everything is hunky-dory. Okay, even though it's not the optimal configuration, I'm just putting a bunch of lava into the centrifuge. I'll just have it keep on going. There's no point really to have anything else. Now we will have to put everything else there, but I think just stocking this, take out everything that's in here will be good. So all this, we don't need to have that. We'll just empty it each time, and we won't even need to have the wait symbol because it'll just empty each time, and we don't need anything specific. That's because no longer will we require any tin because of the tin cells. That's no longer a thing that we'll need. And because, well, it'll just look cool, okay? Let's just go with that. So now we have some sand for our earth one that we're still going to work on. I think sand is what it's going to require. But I hope we'll be able to get a few more ingredients and then maybe move on to some bigger and better things instead of just doing all this. Okay, we got our wand of excavation. If we look here, it's going to require 3 earth shards and a wand of the apprentice, and will require a bunch of metallum as well as instrumentum. So this will basically be a new mining tool that we'll be able to use. These other ones I'm not too adept at, but this tallow or this golem will be very interesting if we ever manage to get into that. I'm hoping so because, well, kind of need something to pass the time with. So maybe what... stop it. Maybe what we can do instead in the meantime is go out and gather all the obsidian that will be required for that furnace. Should be an easy enough thing to do, and it might as well pass the time using that method. I'll just go get a bit more obsidian and then see if we can actually get some more stuff before we, well, die due to death. Yeah, dying due to death. Very, very good job, Way. So the infernal furnace is an easy enough multi-block structure to create. It's just a 3x3x3 structure, and hopefully we're not going to burn everything down to the ground. And you know, now that I think of it, probably a forest wasn't the best place to have something this destructive. Anyways, let's go and make the wrath furnace somewhere. I think we might as well finish cutting down this tree, and I wish we had some better tool to be able to do this. I don't think the rock cutter would be well suited for a tree. So First of all, we're going to need to get our nice little foundation done. So it'll be 4 of these. And we're going to just put the obsidian down in a star like this. Can you speed up, Leaves? I do not have all day. Speaking of which, let's actually put this on our fancy graphics so that we can see when we're cutting this stuff down. Anyways, if we look at our recipe again, because I don't want to mess up, it's just more obsidian and more obsidian after that. So obsidian and obsidian with the top open. And then we have some nether brick like so, going for the sides. There we go. Now all we need is one little extra bit, which is the obsidian that will be on the top, lava here, and iron bars. This seems good. Now we only need one little magic touch. Now we got a wrath furnace. It actually looks pretty cool now that I look at it. Now these other sides are not inputs per se, they're actually places where bellows can be used. Now we haven't researched bellows, I just remember them from a few videos that I saw, but why don't we actually go out into our area, the Twilight Forest again, and gather a bit of diamond ore, see if that can be processed. Now, I'm guessing that what it does is checks whether or not particular ore has a recipe in a furnace, and what it does is then basically sees the smelted thing and then spits out the ingots as well. So let's throw this in and see if we get anything. Thrown in. And we got 1 diamond. So obviously that is not the most efficient route. Now what we can do is check on whether our unmacerated stuff works. So our ores that we have over here, I think we can use. So like iron ore and the gold ore, and do I even have any ore? Ore. Okay, maybe we can also check whether macerated dust works as well. Though if that does work, that is some serious exploit that we're going to need to figure out. So actually I have a bunch of lead ore here, so I'll just grab 2 of it, and let's grab some macerated materials. Actually, let's macerate a gold ingot and see if that works. So just macerate it, we'll get 1 single gold dust, and then we'll throw in our lead ore and our gold dust and see whether either of them take in the way that we expect. We should get some lead nuggets with this lead, and we should get some, maybe just smelt it, let's see. And diamond dust doesn't really have many uses as I could see with any eye. Only just some regular stuff. Okay, so we got the gold ingot. It probably checks whether it's an ore, and if it is, it just checks, and I'm not even going to go into that. So let's throw 2 lead ore into here. Okay, we got 1 solitary ingot and another solitary ingot with a nugget. So looking at that, it doesn't really seem like there's much advantage of using this wrath furnace. It's just kind of a fancy centerpiece, if anything. I'm guessing maybe there could be use eventually. I don't know. It does require a bunch of the flux that is in the area, or rather it amplifies the said flux, but okay. So I do believe I had the goggles of revealing already revealed, so I might as well create those. It's going to require the gold that I have, as well as another water shard and another thermometer. And I do believe if we check the goggles of revealing recipe in our Thermonomicon, we need leather. So I'll get some leather from one of our Mistcraft ages. I do believe there are a bunch of cows and that book is only accessible in the overworld. And then I'll see you after I go do a bit of cow tipping. Okay, here we go. We got our leather right here as well. And we got our gold. And finally, this is the wrong location. That is probably a bad idea. Okay, now that we know that it's actually supposed to be in this location, and we need to switch the wands, we'll put our thermometers into here. Put this, and it's probably going to require a few ingredients. It requires some flux, some visum, and some precantatio, which I still cannot pronounce rather. So I can use 2 ender pearls, but I'm still going to need to get the visum. So we need 8 glowstone. Precantatio, I think I have something for that, but we're still going to need 8 of this, and this is going to be bad on the local flux. Okay, we got 8 of that, so let's put this here, put this here, and we're also going to need something for the other thing. I think blaze powder does give it, but let's just throw the ender pearls in. So, ender pearls, ender pearls, let's not hurl, or Okay, so 8 dust, 8 nether wart, and 2 ender pearls. And now that everything is done, we can get our goggles of revealing and see how much we messed up this world. Okay, so we got a high flux, which is not good because of all the crafting that we've been doing. Now the flux means that we are going to have to find some area. I wonder how that happened. You have to find some area where the node is. I believe there is an aura node somewhere nearby. This has a very high aura. Actually, its aura is higher than the maximum. I'm guessing the backslash, what's under the backslash or whatever, the rightmost number is the maximum. Okay, let's look around, and there is some very big node over here. Let's look. Okay, this stuff I already looted. This doesn't exactly look the most hospitable, so let's try to break it out of the confines. And where are our torches? That is very wrong, just bad sound. Okay. Let's try to break this node and see if there's anything we can do about this. Now I'm wondering if it was actually a high flux already, which is a possibility since this runes might just perpetuate a high flux. And there has to be some way that the flux is diminishing, though I'm not too sure. Now where's the node for this area? And I seem to be out of jetpacky. Though the jetpack's not on, and I'm still out of energy. So let's look around, see if we can find the aura node for the area I'm in, because it doesn't seem like they're the same one, because if we look over here, it's changed, rather. So I'm gonna look around for the aura node. Maybe I can find it in a ravine or something. No, not around here, but I'll show you what it looks like whenever I can actually find it. High flux is probably not a good idea. Okay, I see lightning over here, and it seems like this is the aura node. No, it's not the aura node that actually governs our area, but it does seem like it's close enough. Now this seems like a minimal area, so this actually has a much better flux than the other, and it seems like we have other nodes or nodes that are fueling it, making sure that it's actually good. So some are coming from over there and some are coming from over there, so if we need to find the ore nodes later, we can just go over there and get it. So now that I think of it, high is not necessarily something to worry about. We should probably get worried if wisps start attacking us, though we can always just move our base. Since I actually purposefully built it in an area where I knew we'd eventually move, because frankly, just going at the side of a lake is not the most classy of areas. If anything, I'd want to... Ooh, how is the stuff back at our base? That I want to know. So I think we're going to start the next research anyway, so let's just throw this cobble in, see if we can get anything. Nope, not researchable. There's probably some sort of magic with this blaze powder. So let's go in here and see what our aura is like, if there's any aura whatsoever. Apparently, yep, okay, so we have aura. Where is our aura node? If it's in the nuclear reactor, I will laugh. Believe me, I will. So, excuse me a while I try to find it, because I'm quite interested. I found you at last. Okay. Now this is pretty much the perfect node in the sense that there's no black lightning going off it at anything signaling flux, so it seems like this place is pretty much happy. So I think we won't really do any magic around here, but the age that we're going to be doing most of our magic in, we don't have to worry too much about the flux, though I will be interested in how a wisp grinder would actually turn out. We'll see how that goes. I'm not too sure where the Nora ode for this age is, but I'm sure we'll be able to locate it quickly enough when we're fighting wisps. So let's take that off and then just do a bit more working on everything else that we have here, going on some sort of new research. This is probably a fire wand. Yep, it is. I might do a bit more research, but then again, I'm getting researched out right now in all the stuff that I'm doing. Maybe if I was able to get a tallow golem of some sort, don't tell me how it's made, please. That would just be wrong. Maybe when I eventually get that, I'll be able to do a bit more research, but maybe let's actually go into the red power tech and see if we can actually improve our quarry, because that might be something that I'm really interested in. So currently our sorting system is a little underpowered. By a little, I mean completely non-existent, with just pipes going everywhere. So what I think we'll try to devise is some automatic sorting that we can do. We'll probably have to, we will have to change it so most of it's gold pipes. Now that they A, connect, and B, they work completely differently, we'll have to focus on managing to get that. So we got more than our fair share of Nikolite, and silver dust will start producing in a larger quantity so that we can actually induct it and everything. And I still don't know why I left this electric furnace here. Maybe for some sort of monetary value that I have no idea about right now. Okay. So now that we got all the silver dust that we're probably going to need, and also some gold ingots, we can get the silver ingots, and it'll probably be our next step of everything. Now I think I do have some redstone ore. If not, I'm going to need to make some more redstone. Then again, I think I can make some redstone using my minium stone right now. Actually, now that I think of it, not only can we make redstone using the minium stone, no we cannot, it doesn't seem like that, and that is a horrible recipe. Okay, so I'm wondering, can we actually transmute our cobble into this stuff, or can we change our coal or charcoal? I want to check that. If we can, we actually have some use for our wood. So let's check the minium stone with coal, and it is not powerful enough to be able to transmute our coal or charcoal into any useful thing. So, well, there goes that. So maybe eventually when we get the Philosopher's Stone, it might be able to actually do some stuff. So our clay we're going to want to use. And we're also going to want to use sand and our coal, because there's an alloy furnace that we're going to need to make. So let's get ourselves ready. We have a bunch of sand here, so I think it won't mind. So let's get that sand. And we're going to need some more diamonds, so we might need to go back to the Twilight Forest to get as many diamonds as possible. And we're probably going to need a dedicated red power a building. For now, though, I think I might set up shop into this area since it's not really much of a sorting room anyways, so we might as well, just discontinue it or something because, man, this is horrible. Yeah, I'll want a dedicated redstone building, red power building eventually. I'm not too sure where I'll put it. Maybe I'll put it where the farms are currently, but for now I'll just do a bit of stuff here. So first things first, we're going to need to make an alloy furnace. Alloy furnace requires some bricks. So we'll take our clay and smelt it all up into bricks. We're going to need 8 bricks to get the alloy furnace, but then we'll want to eventually get the blue electric furnace, which is a bit more badass. Sorry, blue electric alloy furnace. Don't want to mess anybody up with that, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bricks ahead. Okay, now that we have the bricks, we'll probably need half of them, and yes, half of them will be good. So combine them like this, and we got our alloy furnace, which is our first step into the foyer of red power. So red power, we'll put this here, and now we'll just throw a bunch of sand in here as well as some coal. We'll get some charcoal for now. So I think only coal can be used for this, so we'll just grab some charcoal. This will probably be enough. So now that we have the charcoal, we're just going to need to get some other stuff, which is the not charcoal, coal. Yes, we got a bunch of coal in these chests right here. So 1, 2, and we need one more thing. Thank you very much. And we're going to make a lot of these. I'll show you. Let's just throw this in, and we're going to make a bunch of silicon boules. That's what it is. Silicon boules. Actually, that's interesting. I didn't know that about convenient inventory. So these are slot 1 through 9, but if I highlight a place and press one of the number keys, it actually places it there. And if I do the same like that, we'll just swap them, and that's actually pretty convenient if I use that to its full effect, which I'm currently not doing. So anyways, we're going to also want to make another alloy furnace because we're going to want to do more than just make our silicon boules, which are only useful later. We'll place this down. We'll grab some of our charcoal, which we're going to use quite a bit of, and we need to do some interesting alloying. So let's take our Nikolite and combine it with this over here, and we'll be able to create a a blue alloy ingot. This blue alloy is pretty much the basis of all of our integrated redstone stuff. Not our integrated redstone stuff. Blue electric. It comes with the color. For goodness sakes, man. Get yourself together. So blue electric energy is the framework for all of the redstone energy stuff that we have. Now we can do a lot of stuff with it once we actually bring it to its full potential, but we're going to need quite a bit of stuff to be able to get everything. So we need to actually get some generation of energy. So one of the things that we can make is a kinetic generator, but kinetic generator is highly advanced considering what we have currently. We cannot make a kinetic generator until we get higher into the tech tree, which is not going to happen for a bit. So what we need to make first are some solar panels. Solar panels, we need blue doped wafers as well as blue alloy ingots. To get blue doped wafers, you need to use the alloy furnace with 4 Nikolite and a silicon wafer. To get a silicon wafer, you need to get a diamond handsaw and a silicon boules. Guess what we're making right now? Diamonds? You're wrong. Okay, so I believe we do have some iron cooking up somewhere. And now that I think of it, we do not. So what we should do is just use a little alchemy and make our 2 diamonds back. And we're going to need to make our iron. So now that we have our iron and our diamonds, we're going to need our wood. So let's get this, get some sticks, which are finally useful in a case. Hooray, hurrah. Put the diamonds there, and now we have our diamond handsaw. So let's take some of the silicone boules that we have right now, put the rest in here, but we're going to need one of them. And we can cut it up, get the silicone wafers, we'll dump an entire set of Nikolite in, so an entire stack, and this will dope enough to be able to make 4. And basically enough to make 2 solar panels. So now that we have this, we're going to need to make something that will actually use all of this energy. So the first thing that we might as well make is a battery box. Actually, a battery box might be a useful thing, though we do not have the Nikolite yet. We're probably going to need to go back into our winter age to get all of that. So, any case, what we should do is make something else that can use it, which is our blue electric furnace, or we can use the alloy furnace. I think alloy furnace would be the best use. So using our induction furnace, we'll just make a bit more bricks. This will be enough. And we'll take this, get that, and we'll bring all of this together with our iron as well as one more blue alloy ingot, and we have a blue electric alloy furnace. So what we do with this is we'll place it next to the solar panels. Once we get the solar panels, we'll place this here. And actually, let's repair this slightly so that we have some semblance of sanity, however fleeting. Hurrah! Okay. So blue alloy furnace, obviously it doesn't have any sorts of energy. What we need to do is make the solar panel. So taking these blue doped wafers, you can make 1 solar panel. And here we go. Now, the thing I like about red power, let's just put this down, is the fact that it actually uses real-world energy. So it requires a voltage to be able to power any device. So in the real world, what we need is 120 volts out of a wall outlet. This requires at least 60 volts. So once it reaches that point, we'll be able to power stuff. Now it also has current, which is the amperage. So voltage is pretty much how fast something is going, whereas the current is how much of that something there is. So a potential, voltage, and the current, the amperage, which is the amount. I hope you get what I'm saying. So pretty much what it means is that there's 90 volts being generated from this solar panel. And we need to be able to generate some energy here. So once this battery goes up to about 3/4 area, we'll be able to actually use this. Now it's also generating half an amp, and due to P equals V times I, which is the power equals the voltage times the current, we get about 45 watts right now. This requires, I think it's 300 watts, so we're not quite there. And obviously this little battery area is not exactly enough to keep it running at any sort of sane pace. So we need to put some more of this stuff. So let's make another solar panel. And the good thing about solar panels is that they actually go together in parallel, so you don't need to place it right here, but you can put them in line. So the energy that would have been generated here goes into this, then into the furnace. So it'll go at a bit faster of a pace. Then once it gets generated enough energy, we'll be able to use it similar to how these are used, in a bit more of an eco-friendly way. It'll be green, using blue electric energy. Irony at its finest. Not really irony, but anyways, you get what I mean, darn it. So we're going to need some more Nikolite to be able to get anything done. Now obviously this quarry, since it was made before Red Power, is not going to suffice when it comes to that sort of energy supply. So we're probably going to need to make a new quarry age. Well, a new quarry age can be problematic in the sense that, well, we have to make a new age, bring all the stuff in, and set up another energy network, such as all those. Or what we can do is just simply go out, and since the quarry gets most of the raw resources except for stuff like infused stone, which I'm not going to use much of, and the Nikolite, which is easy enough to mine once we find the right age, no point to go out of our way for that. Okay, we went a little overboard time-wise this episode. So what I think I'm going to do is off-camera mine as much Nikolite as I can. Maybe actually mine a few of those silver veins that I've been neglecting. And possibly we can set up some more blue electric frameworks, such as actual battery boxes to store all the energy. Now I think what I might do is see if I can get a geothermal energy network going, but I don't want to pump from the nether, so I might go some of the igneous extruder work with some automatically fed cobble, or have a system where I pull a lever and it uses netherrack instead. Might work, might not work, we'll see how it goes. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.